not properly fed, clothed, or housed. Others suffered physical, psychological, and sexual abuse. All were deprived of the love and care of their families, of their parents, and of their communities. These are the hard truths that are part of Canada's history. These are the hard truths we must confront as a society. Today, I humbly stand before you to offer a long overdue apology to the former students of the Lockwood School in Cartwright, the Makkovik Boarding School, the Nain Boarding School, the St. Anthony Orphanage and Boarding School, and the Yale School in Newfoundland and Labrador, on behalf of the Government of Canada and all Canadians.
This apology is an important part of the healing. Today, the survivors of Newfoundland and Labrador, we can finally feel a part of the community of survivors nationwide across Canada.
Today was about the survivors. We've worked with the survivors over the past months and years in some cases to respond to their needs. The need to acknowledge the harm that was done to them and demonstrate that we are truly and deeply sorry and that we commit to ensuring that their story is known and that they are supported, that there is compensation, obviously, but there is also a duty to remember, to celebrate their strength and resilience as we remember the tragedy and the misfortune and neglect that was thrust upon them by colonial thinking and errors of the past. This is an important moment focused on those survivors, but there are many more moments to come. There is much more to do in reconciliation, and you mentioned a few of the different aspects we need to continue to work on. And this is a step, a big step, but it's a step in a long journey towards reconciliation, and that is exactly what we are embarked upon. There's many concerns about children in foster care now and how we need to do better by them. There's concerns around respect for land and culture and languages. Things that this government hears and knows and is working very, very hard on. But today was a moment for the survivors to be heard and to hear what they need in order to move forward in their healing journey. And it was a deep and moving honor for me to be able to represent all Canadians as we acknowledge the past and move together towards the future.
Prime Minister, just to follow up on that question, Sue Bailey with Canadian Press, what do you say to those people who have faced arrest and jail time for peaceful protests about their concerns about what the Muskrat Falls project could do?
I understand that the province has launched a provincial inquiry into this issue. It is a provincial-led project. Canada stands ready to continue to work with government of Newfoundland and Labrador and all Newfoundlanders and Labradorians on issues that matter to them right across the province.
Should the federal government be be willing to play a greater role in the inquiry into how Inuit children in care have been treated over the years?
As was said, the federal government has always been ready to support with documentation and to ensure that our officials are there for the inquiry, but it is a provincial inquiry.
If I could just ask a quick follow. On Tuesday, you're to offer another apology, but what will people take from that as the federal government continues to defend itself in a class action lawsuit?
Sorry, the LGBT. The opportunity to recognize mistakes of the past, learn from them, and move forward in a way that promotes healing, understanding, and ensures that we do not make those mistakes in the future is what today's apology and next week's apology to the LGBTQ community and, quite frankly, all apologies for past wrongs are about. We will continue to work with affected communities to make sure that the path we are on together as a country remembers and acknowledges the mistakes of the past, makes restitution in as much as it's possible, and moves forward in a way that both honors people's and remembers people's suffering, but ensures that the lessons learned are implemented for future generations.
Mr. Trudeau, today you said in your speech that you acknowledged that Canada did have a duty to protect children that were in residential schools in this province after 1949. On the Innu child welfare issue and on the Muskrat Falls issue, there are Innu and Inuit who are saying that the province is not doing enough to protect them from imminent harm, cultural loss. In light of that, what do you say to them? You're saying that it's the province's, these are the province's issues, but the province, according to these people, is not doing enough. So what do you say to them when they say, please help us?
Right across the country, we work with provincial and territorial governments to advance the shared values that Canadians have. And part of that is acknowledging past mistakes and making sure that they aren't repeated and making sure we move forward in true partnerships, particularly around reconciliation. And the federal government, our government stands ready to be a good partner on a broad range of issues with all provinces and territories.
But that class action lawsuit, and again, the apology Tuesday, you talked about not wanting to repeat the mistakes of the past, but what about those who might say you're apologizing, but you're still defending the stance?
There are obviously, this is something that we'll be talking about more next week. What we stand for is an acknowledgement of past errors, and we work in a concerted fashion and a responsible fashion towards compensation and restitution, but also to move forward in a realistic and concrete way that helps promote healing and never making those mistakes again. As to the exact processes, sometimes there are legal aspects and issues to it, but the statement overall of a government that is willing to reflect on its mistakes and mistakes of the past is what Canadians expect.
Last question, please.
Hi, Danielle Barron at MTV. What would you say to those survivors at home who chose not to participate in an event like this, seeing it simply as politics?
I think whenever anyone makes an apology, what you can do as the person apologizing is ensure that it's real, that it's heartfelt, and that it comes with the right actions to move forward in healing. But people are at different places in their healing journey. There is a lot of anger, a lot of hurt, a lot of people who continue to struggle every day with the impacts of residential schools. And we are here to work with them on this journey in respecting their time and their pace on this. This is This is a hard thing, not an easy thing, and this government is committing today that we will be there for people today and tomorrow. On sait que l'impact des écoles résidentielles
The impact of the residential
est profond.
schools is very
Quand on
profound.
Offre des excuses,
And when you present an apology,
les offrir
you can only do so
de bonne foi, de
in good
façon,
faith,
ancrée dans nos valeurs et de
based
notre
on
cœur,
our values,
en
on our
offrant des
heartfelt
actions
regret,
qui vont
and
aider.
point to actions
Mais
that
c'est pas tout le monde qui est à la même
can
place
help.
dans leur
But everyone is not
voyage
in
de
the same
guérison.
place in
C'est-
terms of their
c'est
voyage
une affaire difficile.
and their
Les
desire to
impacts
heal. It's a difficult
écoles
thing, and the
résidentielles,
impact of the residential schools,
douleurs
the pain,
Profonds.
the deep pain that was caused to individuals and families and communities.
On le sait que ça va prendre
We
longtemps
know that it's going to take a long
guérir
time
pour
to
beaucoup de
heal
gens.
for many, many
Et
people.
tout ce que je peux dire, c'est
And
que le
all I can
gouvernement
say
va
is that the
continuer
government
d'être
will
là
continue to be there
pour les survivants,
to help
pour
the
les
survivors,
appuyer,
to support them,
les supporter, pour leur démontrer respect
and
et
to show them
partenariat.
respect and partnership.
Et c'est pas quelque chose qui
And
se fait du
this
jour
is
au
not
lendemain.
something
On va
that can happen
continuer de
overnight. We
travailler
will
avec,
continue
tout le
to
monde
work with
dans
everyone
les mois, années,
in
peut-être
the
décennies.
months and years and decades to come. Thank you very much.